Hey team, I want to give you a quick overview of what I'm asking you to do today. So I've given you some instructions talking about a company that wants you to design some variables to store information about a recipe. And I've given you some information here about what that meal should have. And then your job is to create some variables that store this information. And so I'll give you a couple examples. The first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to create a name for it. I'm going to say this is going to be a string. And I'm just going to leave this here without a value to start. And the next thing is I'm going to do a calorie count, and I'm going to make this calories, and I'm going to call this an int. All right? This is not complete, but this is the idea of what I want you to do. On the next page, if we go to the next page here, it says to paste the variable list into this space right here where it says to paste the variables. And so I'm going to copy this, this list and paste it into this space. So I'm just going to erase that and paste it there. The next thing that we're going to do is I want you to change recipe 1 to match your variable names. So you'll see that when I type comma, down here at the bottom, calories pops up because that's another one of my properties. And so I'm going to put 250 as the calorie count. It then says to change the print statement to include your variable names and show information about the given recipe. So this already has information about the name, and I'm going to put in that a single serving is, and I want to say that it's a certain number of calories. And I'm going to use this trick, a backslash, and then a pair of parentheses, and I'm going to put in recipe 1 dot calories, and this is going to print out the information about this recipe 1 that I put in there. So if I run the code, and if I look at what this prints out, it says this recipe is named margarita pizza. A single serving is 250 calories. So that's doing what I want. The last thing, second to last thing, add a second recipe called recipe 2. And var recipe 2, recipe, and I'm going to give this one a name, name of chocolate chip cookies, and calories, and I'll say that it is 150 calories. Okay, now I typed all that out. I do want to show you a quick little shortcut. When I start typing recipe and I select it and put parentheses in there, it actually gives me all that information, so I don't have to type it all out if I don't want to. But I've already typed it, so it doesn't really save me much time. Finally, it says add an additional print statement to show information about your new recipe. I'm just going to take this entire string that I wrote above, I'm going to paste it in, and I'm just going to change recipe 1 to recipe 2. And I have one too many parentheses, so hit enter, run the code, and if I go to that second statement, it's now talking about the chocolate chip cookies, and the first statement is talking about margarita pizza. And so notice that I didn't have to repeat this code. It kind of worked as is, just by changing this to recipe 2 and leaving the property names the same. So your job is to make a complete list of variable names, as it describes right here. And once you're done with that, paste it here and change recipe 1 and recipe 2 following these directions to make it so it prints out information about the meals that you create. And that's it, and we'll share these during class. Good luck.